Hey now, welcome to episode 15 of Lone Star Mini Restoration. Now that I have my basic floor panel and all the bracketry and sills and whatever, I decided to try to compare the old panel versus the new panel and identify how it all assembles together. So right off the bat, what I have found is that components, in fact, I'm going to show a little diagram here. So the items in green are the items that are new and I'm going to completely replace. The items in blue are items that I'm going to salvage. And then the items in yellow are question marks right now. I don't know if I can salvage them, and I may not know that until I start tearing the floor apart. But yeah, so on this floor panel, things that I know that I'm going to salvage are this cross member, and one of the identifications, there's some holes here. There's three holes here. Well, two that are in this floor panel that are not in the new panel. And I, of course, now in studying the difference between the old and the new, these holes probably have to be match drilled to the cross member. So that makes sense why they're not on the new floor panel. I'm going to salvage the brake brackets. I guess both of these are the handbrake brackets. I'm going to salvage them. I am going to salvage the seat support bracket. I'm going to salvage that guy. And outside of that, everything else on the floor is going to be new. It's going to be brand new. I don't know about the companion bins yet, or some of the other stuff. I think there's like a battery cable. I don't really know what that is. I don't know where it is. But yeah, so let me flip the car over, because I thought, okay, I'll study what I have and compare it to the new. Well, it's been kind of a challenge in doing that. So let me flip the car over and I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, so I'm going to stop right there for now. This guy had oversills, as you can see here. Repair, I guess, what do you call them? Repair oversills. So, yeah, I couldn't see anything in here. I mean, this whole, whatever this, is this like a jack, supposed to be a jacking point that you shouldn't use? It's all rusted out. But I couldn't really see anything here. This strap down here, let me rotate it up again so you can see. But yeah, hold on, let me rotate it up. So this strap right here, I'm going to have to salvage. I don't quite yet know what this goes to. It probably goes to something underneath, a bracket or something. But although the bolts are on the bottom, so that makes sense. You would think that the holes go all the way through. I'm not sure what this is for, but I'm going to try to salvage this bracket because the new panel didn't come with this. The new panel did not also did not come with these cable holders or brake lines, fuel lines, whatever you call these. They didn't come with this, so I'll have to find another way, maybe Adele clamps or something like that to run lines. The floor panel is a little bit different up here in the toe area, the foot area, but it's also, you know, I think the panel I got is for 1976 and on, so it's supposed to fit a lot of different models, so that's why, you know, no wonder it's a little bit different. But I don't know, is the camera picking this up? Let me see. Let me rotate it up a little bit more. So as you can see here, this oversill has already been removed, and I was hoping, I mean, I can see this bracket here. I can't really see the other brackets that are supposed to be in here. There's supposed to be a bracket up here that's totally not there. You know, back here, there's supposed to be brackets, and I don't see anything. Oh, that's the closeout for the companion bin, I think. Supposed to be a bracket in here somewhere. I'll see that once I start tearing all this down, hopefully. It's been a very good educational day because I'm learning how the floor panel components all go together, and I'm going to show you that over here. Yeah, it makes a lot of, at first I was like, all right, how in the world am I going to figure out where these panels go or these brackets go? But it all kind of goes together like a puzzle. It's rather interesting. All right, so let's go over there and I'll show you what I've learned. Here's my new floor panel, and I have all these new brackets, you know, that go between the floor panel and the sill. So, you know, I had to figure out, okay, where does everything go? You know, there's no directions on where to line everything up, but I think once you start looking at it, it all kind of makes sense. This is, I've assembled the left side here, but I have the same components for the right side. So what I have here, I have the floor sill, or I don't know the proper name for that, floor sill, and then I've got a seat belt bracket. This is a cross beam extension / jacking point bracket. This is a slinger bracket. I don't really know slinger. That means nothing to me. I'm not sure what that definition is, but slinger bracket, it's on the rear. Then I've got these, this might be also called a slinger bracket, but it's the front. And then this bad boy, I think it's called a radius arm guard. I have not figured this one out yet. I figured out everything, but I haven't figured this guy out. So what I've learned is that right off the bat, I started figuring out, okay, I got all the left components, and I just started taping things in place, trying to figure out, all right, where does it go? And so when you start putting it together, the first thing I put on was the heel board. I as you can see, I clamped the heel board in place, and it's pretty good. So then there is this bracket back here. This is the same thing as this other one. This one's called a slinger bracket, and I was like, all right, how does this go? But with the heel board and with the sill in place, it all makes sense. And I'll try to zoom in here. Let me start up here for a moment. Essentially, this bracket that you see here, this bracket is I've already assembled it. I've already taped it in place on the left-hand side. But these two flanges here go flush up against the floor panel. And then this angle right here is the same exact angle, or should be, as this angle on the floor panel. So you kind of know exactly where it goes. It's all in line with one another or flush with one another. And so you can see here, I've assembled it. And then the angle of the sill also is in the same, well, it has the same angle. So all these angles, you can see here, the angle of the bracket, the angle of the sill, and the angle of the floor. Basically, if you were to draw lines through there, you would see a straight line going all the way through. And so that all kind of goes together as a puzzle. And then this threaded hole right here, let's see, this threaded hole here lines up with the hole in the sill. Similarly, or likewise, this bracket, this is for the right-hand side, but these brackets, I guess, are spot welded onto the edge of the floor panel, and it just goes straight down. And this angle again, it's all perfectly aligned. This angle matches the angle of the sill, as well as matches the angle of the floor panel. So yeah, I mean, it's perfect. And then the seat belt bracket, well, this one's kind of a no-brainer. This one just goes in here, and I guess it's spot welded to the side of the floor panel, and it matches a hole. There's a hole in the side of this floor panel, and obviously the bolt has to go through for your seat belt. So that one's kind of a no-brainer. But then I had this guy. I had this slinger bracket. Yeah, but likewise, this flange mounts flush against the floor panel, and then this angle matches, just like all the others, and it just goes down here, and there's a hole in the bottom of the sill that I'm guessing matches this threaded. I don't know what it goes to, but it all goes down in here. Now, one thing I noticed, this is currently interfering with the flange on the heel board, but it looks like I've got the seams all nice and tight here. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if the sill has to go forward a little bit and then this lines up, or if I'll need to trim off. This is a Magnum panel, so my first thought would be I would probably trim this off and then this would slide just a few millimeters aft to line up with the hole. But that goes in there nicely. Now this panel, again, this bracket, I haven't figured it out yet. I don't know. I've tried looking at my Mini to figure out where it goes, and I don't know. So if anybody knows where this is, called a radius arm guard, I think. If anybody knows where this goes, I would love to know. Thanks. So now, you know, I did all this, and it looks right. And I thought, okay, but is it really right? Do I have the right heights, is it flush at the front? Is it flush at the back? All that. So then what I did is I went and got my my A post, if you will, with door sill on it, and it's beautiful. I mean, I can see that this flange here mounts to this flange here of the sill, and then this flange here, I guess, welds to this, and I assume that it should be all the same water line. It should be all the same height. And when I put this up here, it was almost perfect. And so you can see, I don't know, is this camera picking it up? I don't know if this camera is picking it up, but you can see this. These two flanges are welded together. And then this flange out here will be welded together. And it closes out the sill and the floor panel perfectly. Yeah, this is a really nice fit. So now I at least know how all of this is going together. I know how all of this matches, or how all assembles, with the exception of this guy. Wow, this has been an eye-opening experience. Not only have I figured out how it all assembles, but I know the components now. I know what's in between panels, and that's cool as heck. So I guess that's it for now. Thank you for watching a Texas-sized mini project from Lone Star. Bye just now.